Okay,
Okay.
logistics. So you can take it online. The total cost of the exam is $311. So that's like more expensive than more expensive than the AWS certifications, for example, but it's less expensive than like Microsoft specific certifications. And then the book itself costs $55, but you have to have it. Again, it's an open book test. So altogether, it costs just over like 350, 360 to take the exam. And, whether that's worth it to you
I see.
is an open question.
Okay. Wei Pao, can you ask your question?
Yes, Professor. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Um, Actually, my question was related to business intelligence. So when it comes to that, we know that tools like Power BI and Tableau are the ones to go to. But even in the languages like Python and R, there are a lot of libraries which can provide like some super useful projections about our data, which Tableau and Power BI might not. So like if someone is working in the field of business intelligence, would you recommend that like to use Power BI and R instead of those BI tools? Sorry, Python and R instead of the BI tools? Because I have seen
Yeah,
like people doing super cool and super genius projections using Python and R as well.
yeah. I mean, it totally depends. So I feel like I can't really answer that question. You guys should all know about this cool library called Pandas Profiling. So I'll just mention that as like a quick tip. This library is built on top of Pandas and it like generates a report for you. So it's really helpful for like basic summary statistics. I wish everybody knew about this. And I wish like all business analysts learned Python and like knew how to do their work in Python because it can be a lot quicker to type than to like make things in Excel, and like there are
Yes.
limitations to pivot tables. So, I mean, it's just like like the best tool is the tool that's the fastest and is going to like fulfill the business requirements like at the minimum level. So, sometimes if you can just pop the data into Excel and that's the fastest way for you to make a chart and send it to your boss in like the 2 minutes they have to prepare for their meeting, like then like do it in Excel. Don't like stress yourself out trying to like find the right way. But if you want to have repeatable, rigorous results with a massive data set, like make sure that you're using the right tools for that. Like, you know, maybe Jupyter Notebook isn't even the right tool. Like maybe you need to be writing a script so that it's more repeatable. Just yeah, so it depends totally on what you're going for.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Jessica, can you ask your question too?
Yep. Hi, Nicole. Thank you so much for this presentation. It was really interesting. As I said, I work for the American Psychological Association as a data analyst, and they are definitely trying to build a data strategy. One of the problems that I've observed in this process is that there is not a lot of data science knowledge. As far as I know, I'm the only one with any kind of data science training, and I'm fairly low on the totem pole, but now like these much higher level individuals in the organization are kind of asking for guidance from me. I haven't even finished, the master's degree. And so I was wondering if you had any advice on how someone who is kind of lower level in the organization can provide some of this guidance. Obviously, I'm sharing these slides with the people who are doing this in the organization, and that's super
Cool.
valuable. But um, coming from like one of the lower tiers of the organization, and observing things like we have a data governance group that meets, I don't know, every 6 months. The organization has this goal without any kind of idea of how to implement it. And so I was wondering if you had any advice on how someone in my position could like help drive that, from the bottom up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Honestly, I mean, your situation, it sounds like perfect for like this exam.
Exactly.
The certified data management professional, like if you could kind of set up like a corporate uh, policy of, say, encouraging people to take this test and having it paid for by the like training money allocated out of a training budget. Because again, it's expensive for like any single person to just be like, okay, I'm going to drop like 360 bucks, but it's not necessarily like crazy for an organization to say like this is a valuable investment, in my employee. So you can ask your manager. I did this. I tried to make a case at Atlas that like more people should get training in this certification to increase the overall level of awareness for these concepts and also like decrease the pain felt in my wallet for getting the cert that I wanted. So that could be an option that I would highly recommend.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
is there any, yeah, let me know if there's like anything else because
Yeah, I might email you for some advice with like some more specifics, but thanks so much.
totally.
I was like about to suggest the same thing. Jessica, you can reach out to Nicole, and Nicole, you have this Facebook, I think Facebook group, right? So like you are meeting with folks and doing these events. So Jessica, this might be also helpful, or for the folks that in your company, you can also address them, like direct them to these meetings so that they would get better sense, or maybe they would reach out to Nicole also for the same purpose. And this is
Absolutely.
exactly, I think, a
Yeah.
good case, like, I think Ryan was asking, like, is it worth it to invest? Some cases, yes, it's definitely. Maybe, Jessica, it might be a good opportunity for you to also, like, you talk a little bit about, like, being at the lower ranks, right? So this is a good opportunity for you to shine a little bit, right? Like with the skills, it looks like if it is like a 50 hours, 60 hours of commitment, with a little bit
Yeah.
extra boost, you can just finish it relatively quickly.
Yeah, I recommend people take like plan to study over the course of 3 months. Um, again, like spaced repetition, like the orbit tool helps you to do, it helps to really lock these concepts into your brain versus like cramming. We all know that cramming, it might help you pass your exam, but you'll forget what you tried to learn. So in the long run, it's really not an effective strategy for learning. So anyway, so that's just like my 2 cents there. It's super manageable if you do it that way, like just like 30 minutes of reading in the morning or like reviewing some concepts by flashcards at night. Like you can get through this study no problem. Yeah, and the CDMP study group, like this screenshot is from back when we only had 285 members, but now there's over 800. And people here are so nice and helpful. It like gives me hope for humanity, honestly. Like they're helping each other and like studying for the exam together. And if you have a data strategy question and you post here, like people will just tell you like what they think you should do. So it's like been really nice. Like it's like a very like happy corner of the internet in my experience. So definitely join that if you have questions.
Perfect. Okay, folks, it is 1:15 almost right now. Do we have any other questions for Nicole? I take this thing as a no, and let's thank to our awesome speaker. Nicole, thank you so much. This was really helpful. And
Yeah, thank you.
so again, everyone, please fill out the form. I will send it one more time, if just in case if it is like in the depths of chat window. Please fill out the form if you haven't already, and just like a follow Nicole on Facebook. Yeah, learn more about the data strategy. I genuinely also believe, and I think Ryan asked a little bit the question, like, okay, how much we should invest as a data scientist to data strategy, learning more about data strategy. I don't think that it's the core of our business, But I think we should know more about that, because in any organization you will be joining, probably there will be some issues about the data strategy, right? And then it will affect your work. At least you know what you are missing. I think it might be really handy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good idea to diversify your skill set a little bit.
exactly.
Like if you're following the Pareto principle of trying to achieve 80% of the benefit for 20% of the effort, like diversification is a really great way to do that. So
Exactly.
rather than just being like, oh, I'm gonna like really focus and like spend all my time like mastering every obscure aspect of Python, like
Yeah.
why not branch out a little bit and like try something different? And that's a really quick way to like, you know, generate more impact for less effort. Study smarter, not harder.
And Nicole, this was a really good intro to anyone like who might be interested, really. So again, I hope that it is helpful for the folks. I will share the recording. Would you mind if I put this thing to our YouTube channel also? I'm just trying to put like this thing, all the talks to YouTube, so that anyone
Yeah,
can access that. Would you mind?
sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Nicole, again. And thank you so much for everyone who joined today. Reach out to us if you have any questions following up with this talk. Otherwise, we have other talks coming up. Okay, so I will let you know about that too.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for being a great audience. The questions were really good, and hopefully this was helpful.